Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Storing our source code within the package, and storing declaring the variables as a private, and to access those variables you're providing a public getter and setter method. So this is one part of our encapsulation concept. The second part would be the access modifier itself. So so you have something called as access modifiers: default, public, private, and protected. So these four access modifiers will be used throughout your language. So it can be on a class, it can be on a method, it can be on a variable name. So wherever, whatever data you want to control, you just put an access modifier on it, and based on that you'll be able to control your data. So that concept is also coming under your encapsulation. So it comes under your control and security. So let's take the first keyword, that is default. So it is the first line of data handling. So if any class in Java is not mentioned with an access modifier, then the compiler will set the default as access specifier. So explicitly, if you don't mention anything public, private, or protected, then your by default it will be a default keyword. So the access specifications of the default are extremely similar to that of a public access specifier. So if you take a public access specifier, this provides access specifications to a class so that it can be accessed anywhere within the program. Meaning, let's say, now, now if you see this, you have something called as class default ex. I'm a default method. So this is your simple class. It does not have a public keyword here. That means this class is default class. Now, if I want to run the default program outside my package, it will not allow me. So default keyword, like whenever your class is defined as a default, this execution is limited only to this package itself, only within the package. So if I move this to this package, now I will not get any error here because my default x is a default class and it is within the same package as my default x class. Hence, I will be able to run this message. I'm a default method. If you move this class outside the package, you'll get a compile time error here. That so-and-so class is not even visible to me. Now, if you take up if you add a public keyword here, it becomes a public class. So this is the message. This is the class which has a public keyword. So this is a public class. And if I simply trigger this, I'll get a message in public method. So this main method is different. That's present in a different package. Public access present in access package and public main is present in access modifiers package. So even though they are in different packages, just by the use of public keyword, this class will be able to access the class in another package. The only difference between public and default is if you want to execute a default class, your main method should be within the package. And if you want to put it outside the package, declare the class as public. Understood these two concepts, public and default? You can put in the chat window or just speak up. Yes, okay. Everyone? Yes. Yes. Then we have something called as private and protected. So the private access specifier provides access to data members and data methods within the class itself. So this does not limit to any package or any project. So whatever you declare within the class, those are limited only to that. We'll discuss more in the example. And the next is the protected keyword. The protected access specifier protects the class methods and members similar to the private access specifier. The main difference is access is limited to the entire package unlikely only a class with a private access specifier. So the definition seems to be quite big, but that's a simple thing. So, so let's say, let's first discuss about private. So I have my class and it is declared it's a public class and the variables are declared as private here. Okay, so I have something called as a private void message, which will, like upon running this, I'll get something called as hello Java if I print this. Now I have a main method. The main private is the main method, and if I want, just a minute. So we can run this. I'll trigger line by line. So I want to create an object of private one equal to new private one dot. Now if you see, there are no messages here. Like I have something called as a message here. If I try to print this within my with my different class, it will show me a compile time error because I'm trying to access something called as private. If you go to your private class and change this accessibility to public, then you won't get any error. This means even though you're in the same package, if you're declaring something as private, this visibility will be limited only to this class. So whatever variables are declared as private and whatever methods are declared as private, those can be accessible only within this class, not outside the class, even though you're in the same package. So this is our private keyword working. Now, if you take protected, the class is public, and you have something called as protected void message. So this class is in a package called access. And if I want to access this protected EX within my main class, I need to use the extends keyword because the protected access modifier is accessible within the package and outside the package only through inheritance. So what is inheritance? That is a relationship. So my protected EX is a subclass of protected main. If you think in that way, so protected main is extending the protected EX. So with this, I'm able to access the protected method of the protected EX class. That's the meaning. Let's say if I don't extend this here, I'm able I'll be able to create a simple object from the class. But if I want to access the message, I cannot access the message here because my protected EX is in a different package and it is protected. If I want to access something outside the package and with a protected access modifier, I need to use the inheritance concept. So I need to use extends keyword and just simply just extend the protected EX functionality, and then if I trigger this, it will print this. I'm in a protected method.
Once can you go to protected EX class? Okay, yeah.
If you want to access this method, which is in a different package, simply use the inheritance concept. So your main class should use the extends keyword to extend the protected EX class, which is in a different package. So with this you can simply access all the methods which are present in the protected EX class.
But this inheritance is applicable for protected is not mentioned in the PPT which you said earlier, right?
Meaning? I didn't get you.
I mean, once can you open the PPT? Yeah, here it says that the main difference is it is limited to entire package, unlike only class like a private, but it didn't say point related to inheritance.
Oh, I'll update that. I have mentioned it in the notes here. The
Yeah,
protected access modifier is accessible within the package and outside the package, but only through inheritance.
So this might be interview question as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other doubts still here? Access modifiers: default, public, protected, and private.
No.
Anyone else? If not, so you can just take a look at this this diagram. So if you take the private access modifier, this is accessible only within the class. Everywhere it is no. If you take a default access modifier, this will be accessible only within the class and within the package. If you want outside the package also, you need to go to public. And if you want to use the protected keyword, it will be accessible within the class, within the package, and outside the package by subclass only. What do you mean by subclass? Through inheritance. Use the extends keyword, make the class as a subclass, and then access all the variables and the methods. And outside the package, strictly no. If you use the public keyword, it's accessible everywhere within the class, package, outside the package by subclass, and outside the package itself. Clear? So with this, we'll come we completed all the 4 object-oriented programming concepts: inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, and encapsulation. Next, we move on to arrays and strings. So
I think we haven't covered abstraction, I think, right?
abstraction. Do you see this? Like previously, I told inheritance.
Yeah, I got it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, just a minute. Yeah. So Java array is an object which contains elements of similar data type. So it can be used to store only a fixed set of elements. And array in Java is index based. So the first element of an array is stored in the 0th index, second is on the first, and so on. So whenever you declare an array, the first element index is 0. So if you want to access the first element of an array, you need to call it by array of 0. So this is most important concept, because when you define the length of an array, most of the people will be defining it as array.length instead of array.length minus 1. Because since your index is starting from 0, make sure the last element is always n minus 1. So why do you want to what are the advantages of using arrays? Code optimization. It makes the code optimized and will retrieve or sort the data very efficiently. And random access. So you just pass the position, you'll get the data. So you can get any data located at an index position. And small disadvantages is, like, since you can see here, it can only store fixed set of elements. So we can store only fixed size of elements in an array. It does not grow at runtime. So to solve this problem, we use the collection framework, that is maps, hash maps, linked lists, everything. So those all will be coming in the collection framework. So we'll discuss in the next classes. But array is this one. So it makes your code more optimized, and you can retrieve and sort the data more efficiently. And the access, the way you pull the data. So to get a data position, like you just pass the position, and you'll get the data. That's the ease of using the arrays. So types of arrays. You have a single dimensional array. So an array with one dimension is called a single dimensional array. And so it is a list of variables or elements or components containing values of all the same type. So if you are storing a string, you need to store everything in a string. If you want to store it in int, store all the values in integer data type. So if you see the definition itself, which contains elements of similar data type. Okay. Next comes your multidimensional array. So in Java, multidimensional arrays are arranged as an array of arrays. Array of arrays. So So the representation of elements is in rows and columns. So the same way how you define your matrices, right? Rows and columns. You can define an array with multi-dimensional array with rows and columns. So you can get the total number of elements in the dimension array by multiplying the row size and the column size. So let's say you have a multi-dimensional array with 3 rows and 3 columns. So the total number of element is 3 into 3. This way. And sorry, okay. First, let's discuss briefly on single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array, and then we can go to the next concept. So I have created a package called com java.arrays, and so we are also adding the documentation notes here. So array is a reference data type to store multiple elements with same kind of data. So you can initialize your array in 3 different ways. So data type that can be int, string, anything. Open, close the bracket. These are called square brackets. The variable name, and under the curly braces, you can provide the data. Else, you can put it as again int, open, close the bracket, provide some variable name, and use a new keyword data type of 3. Meaning you're initializing an array of with some variable name which has a size of 3. And the other type of initializing a variable is again data type, open and close the bracket, variable name, new data type, put a empty bracket here, and just simply pass the elements. Here the length will be 4. So let's say you have data type, you have int, open close bracket, array. ARR is the name of your array. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the size is based on the values given. So my array size is 5. Come on, just a minute. I don't have a main. Okay, I do have a main method here. Main method. No, so you didn't mention the size of the array here, but since you passed the values, based on the values you passed, it'll print the value. Now, if you see ARR1 dot length, the value is 3. So ARR1 does not have any values here, but we initialize the size to 3, like new int of 3. So my ARR1 size will be 3. I can add only 3 elements here. If I want the size of array 2, since now I'm creating a new array out of it, but I passed the values. So if I run this, my size is length is 5. So you can initialize the arrays in these 3 ways. Directly pass the values, or simply pass the size of the array, or create a new array and pass the values within that. Okay, so the difference between your normal variable, like let's say int a equal to 1, and the difference between array is int open close bracket b equal to 1 comma 2 1 comma 2. You see the difference now? The data type, variable name, and the value. Here data type, open close the bracket. So this symbol will tell that okay, my b is an array of type integer which has values called 1 and 2. That's the meaning. Okay, now let me comment on this. So Java program to illustrate how to declare, instantiate, and initialize an array.
I have a question on line number 28.
Line number
Uh,
28. Okay.
yeah, over there, new space, int, and close and open bracket.
Mm-hmm.
That's an array, right?
Yeah, that's an array.
Yeah, but already we can remove that open and close bracket, and then we can keep only curly brace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So will it give the error or will it give?
It will give an error. I'll show you.
But already we mentioned as an error, right? ARR2.
Just a minute, I'll tell you. See, now ARR2 is an integer type array, correct?
Yes.
This is of the left hand side part.
Okay.
You are assigning this array of 2 to a new integer array type, correct?
Yeah.
New integer array. So that means you need to tell your JVM that okay, I'm creating a new array by making this symbol, open and close a square bracket. See, if you put it this way, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is of type integer data type. But I don't want integer. I want integer of array, array of integers.
Okay.
That's why I'm putting this symbol.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
If you don't want anything, right? You simply remove this. This will be equivalent to your first line, 26 number line.
Yeah.
Done.
Yes.
So now again, the same example. We are taking the second one, the second example, int a. So within our notes itself, I have given 3 ways of declaring the arrays. You can put it as data type, like you can put it as int a equal to this way, or you can put it as int a equal to this way, or int a equal to this way. So all these 3 are arrays. Like if you print a dot length, right, it'll give the length of your array. You can put the square brackets after the data type, or you can put it before your variable name, before your array name, or you can put it after your array name. So you can declare it in any of these 3 ways. So throughout our course, we are going to just fix, like since we have these many options, right? Let's focus on one option, that is int a and open close bracket. So this means that I'm declaring an array called a of integer data type. Now, since I just initialized an array of length 5 and I didn't pass any arrays, so I'll pass a of 0 equal to 10. That means a of 0 means it's pointing to the first index of my array, that is 10. A of 1 is 20, A of 2 is 70, A of 3 is 40, A of 4 is 50. So I'm simply again using a for loop starting from I equal to 0 less than a dot length and I plus plus print a of I. I'll get the values. So here I just declared an array and instantiated with a new keyword and specified the length of 5. After specifying it, I tried to add all the elements to the array and then I printed all the elements. Within a PPT, I told you that the length of that array is fixed here. So if I try to add a of 5 equal to some 70, it will simply throw me an out of bounds exception because you have declared a length of 5, but you're trying to add 6 elements here, which is not possible. Getting it?
Yeah.
So this is how you declare instantiate your array, provide a length out of it, and then within that length add the values. If you want to print the values, simply use the for loop starting from I equal to 0 less than length and so and so. These are all you know because like we discussed in our looping concepts. Now the next is this one. So here what did we do? We just instantiated it and we then added the values. But here int array, like int array a is of array type, I directly pass the values. So this is of the first type, this type. So I'm passing 33, 3, 4, 5. So I declared the array, instantiated the array, and I also initialized the array. Done. So simple. Again, I use a for loop, int I equal to 0, I less than length, and I plus plus, print the values. You'll get the output. Everything will be looking similar, but you need to understand what is the meaning of declaration, instantiation, and initialization. So the difference between these two lines is I only declared and instantiated the array here. But here I declared the array, I instantiated the array, and I also initialized the array. Here I'm initializing the array with element of like within the 0th element with the value of 10 in the second line. But here in the single line I declared everything here. That's the main difference between this one and this one. And previously within our looping concepts, we discussed on like when to use while loop. If you remember, if you don't know the like if you're not specific, if you don't know the size of something, use a while loop, and based on the condition, it will keep on executing. So let's say I have an array, like it's a lengthy array, and I don't want to count the elements. Why do you want to count the elements? Because like you want to know this, like based on the length, you want to iterate over the array. So if I want to print a value of unknown array size, what I can do is here we are declaring instantiating and initializing the array, and I want to get the array of 2, the second element. Int I equal to 0, while I less than array dot length sys out I plus plus. So another way of printing an array. You'll get the same output. Instead of using a for loop, you can use a while loop. While I equal to 0, I less than array dot length, print the I element and I plus plus. Increment it, again go to while loop. Like different ways of accessing your arrays, different ways of printing your arrays. Okay. So here, here you can use your array too. What is this? Mm. So this is advanced for each loop. So till now we dealt with integer data type. So if you want to use a different data type, that is string. So string names equal to new string 3. I can so since all our data should like our array should have same number of what you call should have data with same data type. So let's say names of 2 equal to 3. If I put it this way, it will not allow me because you're trying to add a string value to integer value. So this means our array is always fixed. So array has only fixed set of elements and it contains elements only of similar data type. If it is int, you need to store only int values. If it is string, you need to store only string values. And you can notice one interesting thing. I set the names of 0th element as Tom, names of first element as Alex, and names of 0 as Tina. So I declare the length of my array as 3. So I didn't set the name of second position. That is the third position. That is the third in the array. So my third element is null. Tom value is overridden by the third value, Tina. Because I used a new string keyword, this value names of 0 value was Tom previously, But since I overrided it in the next line, this value got overridden with the Stina keyword. So if I add names of 2 equal to, so here instead of null, I'll get the name of the job. If I print here, so you can also override the values within your array. So if like now this is basically like for a one-dimensional array. Like if you want to declare an array with only a single dimension within a specific set of rows, these are the different ways of declaring them, instantiating them, and then accessing them to and fro within your methods. So if I want to print any index which is greater than the length, or if you want to print any minus number or any negative numbers, you'll simply get an array index out of one's exception. So this is the most frequently asked question within your in your interviews, or you'll be seeing them within your applications itself. So you have an array and you try to print arrays like one position behind, or you try to print some elements which are out of your array size, then you'll be getting this exception. So be very sure when you're working with arrays. So the use of working with them is that's very simple. But if you get into errors, like you need to again debug from starting. What is the length? Where did you declare it? How many elements are storing it? And how are we retrieving it? So each and everything will come into picture again. So this is a one-dimensional array. And just a minute. So we have something called as anonymous array. Anonymous array means you don't need to declare the array while passing an array to a method. So I have something called as a print array method. So print array, and I just declared int array. I didn't even mention the size of it. Like I didn't mention the size of it. I don't know how many elements are present in the array. And I'm just iterating it over the length. So I have array object here, array.length I++, and then just printing it. So this method does not know the length of the array, and it does not know the elements within the array. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this method within my main method. I'm calling the method in the main method. And what do I need to pass? I need to pass int array as the argument. So in place of this, I'm just simply passing new int and the values. So this method is called as anonymous array. Print array does not know the length and the values, anything, but only when this method is called, method call. Okay, so you're in the main method. When you run the when you want to run the application as a Java application, you need to have the main method. So when main method is running, this will go and call the print array method. So this is called a method call. If you want to call this method, your method is accepting int array as a parameter. So int array is called a parameter. So what parameter is it expecting? It's expecting array of integer type. That's why I passed a new integer array with these values. I didn't declare anything. We need not assign this to a variable name. Simply pass the array and run the application. You'll get the values. This is called as anonymous array. Don't declare it. Simply use it in your method, and when you're calling the method, pass the array in your runtime.
So without declaring, we are passing array, right? So is
Yes.
it? So what happens if we remove a new keyword?
Remove new keyword.
Yeah.
See the error. The method print array in the type anonymous array is not applicable for the arguments class int. So int is a class, right?
Yes.
If I put it on int, just a minute. So integer class is coming from the java.lang package. So you can simply see the error that the method print array of this expecting integer array. But what are we passing? We are passing class of integer array.
So
Okay, so let's just take this example. If you see here, this new keyword is used to call the constructor of this class.
yes,
Correct?
yeah,
Similarly, if you don't use a new keyword, what it is thinking is, so this equivalent is print array. See, so if you don't pass a new keyword, it will think this line as this one.
okay,
So you'll get the same again. You'll get the same exception, the same error. You're trying to pass integer array, but since because there's no new keyword, so it's not taking int of array as an array. It's taking something as a class. If you pass new keyword, then it will take it as an array object.
Without keyword, it won't take as a.
It won't take as an yeah. Just see the error. I'll hover on the error.
Yeah. It's not acceptable, applicable for the arguments.
The method print array int open close bracket int array in the type anonymous array is not applicable for the arguments class and int.
Okay.
Okay, so it's taking this as a class, not as an integer of array. So if you pass a new keyword, it will take it as okay, a new instance of integer array, and then it will pass this array to this array object. Do you want to debug? Like if you want, I can debug it for you.
Yeah, once can you do that?
Fine. So I'm here. If I click on F6, it's coming to here, and this array is initialized to 10, 22, 44, and 66. How are you passing these values? These values are coming to this method.
Yeah. Okay.
How did it go? Like if you just click on open implementation, it will come to this method. It is expecting this one. So this value we are passing it from here. Now if I click on F6, it will keep now array of I. That's I is 0. So array of 0 is 10. It printed 10 here. Now again, array of 1. 1 is 22. It will print 22 here.
Okay.
That's it. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So these are all which you can do with your one-dimensional arrays. Next, we can jump into multi-dimensional arrays. Now, the declaration is int array name. Now you need to declare it as multi-dimensional. So you need to open close the brackets 2 times. So since we're going to deal with rows and columns, int the array name with open close brackets 2 times. So rectangular array means arrays will have elements of same size. So if it has 3 rows and 3 columns, then this is called as a rectangular array. And you have something called as a jagged array, where the length of the rows and the length of the columns is not same. So if you have both the lengths are same, that is called a rectangular array. If the lengths of both the rows and columns are not same, that is called as a jagged array. So just a minute. Let's discuss on multidimensional arrays. So let me create a main method and int array. So 2 arrays equal to 1, 2, 3, comma. So this is the first set of element. Next I have 2 comma 4 comma 5. Put it in a curly braces. So this will be quite confusing, but just you can get it. 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, so this is how you declare. So I have 3 sets of um, rows with 3 columns. So the 1, 2, 3 in the first set, 2, 4, 5 in the second set, and 4, 5, 6 in the third set. Now the looping also will be different here. For int I equal to 0, I less than array dot length, I plus plus, and so you are going to run over the array. That means you are going to iterate over the array for, like, let's say for the first 3 elements, you'll have this iterator. So once you complete this iterator, once you complete this 1, 2, 3, it needs to go to 2, 4, 5. Then after it needs to go to 4, 5, 6. So you need to initialize 2 iterators for this. For looping over a single object, you need I, and for jumping over these 3 objects, these 3 columns, you need something called as j. So for j equal to 0, j less than array dot length, j plus plus. For
Bhavan,
yes.
yeah, in case of two-dimensional array,
Mm-hmm.
we just keeping like 1, 2, 3, 3 sets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in case of single dimensional array, can we keep like that?
Yes, you can, right? This is the first declaration which I have used. You see this?
Okay. So you mentioned here 1,
Mhm.
2, 3, and 4, 5.
Yep.
So my question was, so can I mention like in a same set, can I add 2 more sets?
Here?
So no, that is not my question. My
Mhm.
question was, so these sets consist of 1 to 7, right?
Right.
So this is the one set. In a one more alternative is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So same like should I follow this pattern? So same thing you followed in two-dimensional array, right?
I got it. I got a question. Just a minute. So let's trigger it that way itself. So let's say just a minute. So you want me to declare this way?
Yes. And one more.
No, just
And
write
one
it.
more set. Yeah.
Not, just write it once. You'll get it.
So it is showing error here.
Yeah. Because
So it is not possible in one-dimensional array, right?
yes.
Adding multiple sets
Mhm.
is not possible in one-dimensional array. It is
Correct.
possible in
2
two-dimensional
dimensional
array.
arrays. Because you're
Okay.
adding this two array types here. Like you need to add you need to have this symbol.
Okay. One square bracket represent one respective array, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That is my doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
in case of three-dimensional array, if I add 3 brackets means I can add 3 sets, right?
Yeah. We are going to discuss it. Like you
But
need not add 3 sets here, because if you want like let's say 3 rows and 3 columns, put it as 3 comma 3.
okay.
If you want to put it as 4 comma 4, 16, put it as 4 comma 4.
Okay. Here you mentioned 2 square brackets, but you mentioned here 3 sets.
3 sets. Yeah. If
In
you want,
a
yeah. I can add it. I can add 4 here, and I can add the 4th element consecutively. Like in a consecutive way, I can add the 4th set also.
okay.
No, what is the doubt actually? Like if you want to have 4 elements, right?
Yeah. like
So,
as you said,
mhm.
based on the number of arrays, it's a two-dimensional array. It's
Mhm.
represent two square brackets.
Mhm.
So we can add two sets, but we
Mhm.
are adding couple of sets like this. So it is showing error here.
Mhm.
So if it is a two-dimensional array, we're supposed to go with only two sets of uh, elements, right?
No,
This
no, no.
1, 2, 3, 4 comes under one thing,
No,
and
no.
2, 4, 5, 6 comes under second
Second
array
thing.
one.
Okay, okay. So that means
But
okay.
you added two more.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So, are you aware of the concept called as matrices? Matrices, where a matrix is like it's just a combination with m comma n rows.
Yes.
Just a minute, notepad. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now my m value would be m equal to 3, meaning number of rows and number of columns. That's it.
Yeah, 3 by 3
3 by
matrix.
3 matrix. So if I want to add the fourth element here, I can put some 6 or I can put some 8 now, and 8, 9, 2 and 3. So even though I added these many elements, what would be change here? It's simply 4 and 4.
Yeah.
If I add one more element here and add one more line here, my change would be only 5 comma 5. I will not add something called as j equal to 5, correct?
Yeah.
My change would only be in m and n values.
Okay.
The same thing. This
Got
is
it.
this
Got
is
it.
m value and this is n value. So how many elements I want to change here? I can change, but it will be only in m and I comma j values.
But M and
Okay.
N value should be same size or different size.
This is the concept. If you want a rectangular array, you can have the same size. If you want a jagged array, you can put any size. Like
Okay.
like if you put as 3 and like this is only a single empty element. So this will have a single row. We're going to discuss in detail everything. If you when you're working with multidimensional arrays, it's a huge concept. So m and n value cannot like you can keep it same, or like that's based on your usage. If you want like if you want the m and n value to be equal for within your use case, you can declare an array with same set with same size of elements. Or if your use case is not accepting it, then you can go with a different approach. But that is possible for us.
Got it.
Got it? So now did you understand the concept of this iterator? Why did we initialize it 2 times here? So one is for m value, that is I value. I means it iterate over 1, 2, and 3. Next, similar here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to iterate over a row, use the I iterator. And if you want to iterate over the top, use the J iterator. So this element is I of 1 and j of 1. So when I equal to 1 and j equal to 1, you will get this value. When I equal to 2 and j like I equal to 1 and j equal to 2, you will get this value. I equal to 3, sorry, I equal to 1 and j equal to 3, you'll get this value. So you need 2 iterators for this. That's why we declare this one. So we declare 2 iterators. One I equal to 0, which is running throughout the array length, and j equal to 0, which will run throughout the array length. And if I want to print it, syso syso array of I, array of j, plus simply use a, like I'm just delimiting it, and run the application. One, two, three. Okay, I added a fourth element here. This way. Suppose if you want it in a single array type, right, you can put it this way. That's it. Just add a simple blank statement here. You'll get it in this way. Just 1 minute, just a minute. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So did you understand this concept? Else I can debug it for you.
So if we once we add the fourth set, why does the outbound exception error shows over there? It might be a jagged error, right?
Yeah, now what is my array length here?
Uh,
3.
3.
3.
Yeah.
I added a fourth element here.
Yes.
That's it.
Uh,
So if you want to declare something as a jagged array, you need to mention it this way. We'll discuss in detail. Like
okay,
when we're discussing the jagged array, right?
So
Then
this
we'll discuss.
represents rectangular array. Okay.
Yeah, this is a rectangular array. So this is how you declare a rectangular array.
Okay.
So 3 by 3 elements. So if you see the values here, it is equal to 0 and j equal to 0. So 0 element is 1. Next comes I equal to 0 and j equal to 1. So we are iterating over this loop. Now j equal to 2. After that, now my array dot length value is 3. So I less than my I value is j. My j value is 2 now. 2 is less than 3. Now it simply skips the line. It will go to I value. Now I value will increment from 0 to 1. Now again j will start from 0. So I is 1 and j is 0. This is the second element. I1 j1. I1 j2. After that again it goes up. I will be incremented to 2. Again 2 0. That's it. Is this clear now? Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the past time. So tomorrow we'll be discussing on the jagged arrays and also strings.
Can you share the video of Friday?